Are you surprised that I'm here today? Haha, don't worry. Shadow Boy just left on business, and he asked me to host this release. Well, let's get started. Imagine a child whispering to her teddy bear at night, terrified of sleep. Not because of nightmares, but because something real happens when she closes her eyes. Something she can't explain. Something no one believes. Her name was Lena. 11 years old, a quiet girl from a quiet town, and one night she vanished. But before that, she left behind clues, pages, letters, warnings, a slow descent into a horror hidden beneath floorboards and wallpaper, scribbles that didn't make sense at first, but when arranged, pointed to something older than the house itself. This is the story of Lena, a girl who disappeared not once, but many times. A girl the world ignored. A girl whose truth was buried in whispers and dust, whose silence screamed louder than words ever could. And now we ask, how do you survive when your enemy walks through walls, speaks in dreams, and no one can hear your scream? Chapter 1. A House Too Quiet. Spring 2007. The town of Halberstadt, Germany. A place with cobblestone streets, old timber houses, and stories no one tells out loud. Lena lived in one of those houses, a creaky 3-story relic built before the war, with thick walls and colder rooms than seemed reasonable in spring. She lived with her parents, both teachers, conservative, rational, not the kind to believe in ghosts. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. Until Lena started talking. It began with drawings, scribbles of staircases that led nowhere, stick figures with black holes instead of eyes. Then she began writing letters, addressed to him. No name, just him. At first, her parents thought it was imagination. She said she heard footsteps at night, breathing under her bed. Her teddy bear would be in a different place every morning. Her dolls turned toward the closet when no one was looking. Then she said the words that changed everything. He comes from the floor. Her parents didn't know how to respond. They checked the basement. Nothing. They checked for gas leaks, mold, anything that might affect her sleep. Nothing. They took her to a therapist. Diagnosis: vivid dreams, mild trauma, sleepwalking. She was given melatonin and told to keep a dream journal. But Lena insisted. He only comes when the house sleeps, and he wants me to follow. Chapter 2. The Second Life. Over the next 6 months, Lena's behavior changed. She grew quiet, distracted, often staring into corners or whispering to walls. During the day, she was present, but at night, something shifted. Her eyes seemed darker, her voice slower. Her mother once found her in the kitchen at 3 a.m., barefoot, staring at the cellar door. Her fingers were black with soot, her hair matted. When asked what she was doing, Lena replied, "I was just coming back." Then came the bruises, small at first, then deeper scratches, marks that couldn't be explained by simple sleepwalking. When asked, she'd say, "He holds me when we..." Her teachers noticed. A counselor reported concerns, but the parents pushed back. "She's imaginative," they said, "just dreams." A home camera was installed in Lena's room. For a week, nothing. Then one night, Lena wasn't in her bed. The footage skipped, static. When it resumed, she was back, shivering, her hair soaked, whispering, "He knows about the camera." The camera was removed the next day. Chapter 3. The Hole. One rainy day in November, Lena didn't come to breakfast. Her mother went to wake her and found the bed empty, window locked, door shut. Her nightgown was on the floor, folded. Police were called. The search lasted days. Posters, volunteers, drones. Then, on the third night, Lena came home, alone, muddy, exhausted. She collapsed in the doorway. At the hospital, she was dehydrated and confused. Her body showed signs of having crawled through a confined space. Cuts, soil under fingernails, a fragment of rusted iron in her hair. Her shoes were missing. She whispered, "Don't punish him. He said he'd show me where the others are." Others? Lena's father, now desperate, broke open a section of the basement floor, where Lena often stared. Under the concrete was a narrow tunnel, not recent, old, reinforced with decayed wood and stone, possibly built during the war as a bomb shelter or escape route. At the end of it, a small room, barely 5 feet wide, empty, except for dozens of children's shoes, old, moldy, and a broken recorder with one tape inside. There was something else, a name scratched into the wall over and over. Remmer. Chapter 4, The Recording. The tape began with static, then Lena's voice. "He told me not to tell, but if I don't, I'll become like them. He says the walls remember, and the house needs someone." The voice changed, deeper, male. "You're special, Lena. You listen. Not like the others." They screamed. Static again. Then sounds of something dragging, whimpers, something wet. Then silence. Police reopened the case, searched local archives. The house once belonged to a man named Karl Rimmer, a doctor accused of harboring missing children during the post-war chaos. His trial was inconclusive. Witnesses disappeared. He vanished in 1961. His property, Lena's house, passed through 5 families, all of whom moved out within 2 years. No records explained why. Neighbors recalled odd smells, strange lights. One mentioned hearing children's voices through the walls, even when no children lived there. Chapter 5. The Last Letter. A month later, Lena vanished again. This time, for good. Her parents were asleep. No one heard a sound. The only thing left behind was a crumpled letter, tucked behind a floorboard, written in pencil. The handwriting shaky. "If you read this, I'm part of the house now. But I'm not afraid. I followed him. I found the others. We're not alone down here. Don't try to find us. He doesn't like that." The investigation ended quietly. No suspects. No charges. The tunnel was sealed with fresh concrete. The parents moved. They stopped speaking publicly. The house was sold. Chapter 6 echoes. In 2021, the house was bought again by a couple with a young daughter. They documented renovations online. One clip went viral, their daughter speaking to a vent in the floor. She says her name is Lena. She says she's still waiting. The account was deleted weeks later. The family declined interviews. Their phone was disconnected. Their names scrubbed from public directories. Some say the story is a hoax, a local legend. But the original tape, it still exists, locked away in an evidence vault, with a voice no one can explain, saying, "She listened, she obeyed, she belongs." Finale. How many more? We think we know our homes. We think we know our children. But what if the real horrors don't come from outside, but from beneath? What if the darkness isn't under the bed, but under the floor, in the cracks, in the walls, in the whispers we dismiss? And if Lena was telling the truth, how many more tunnels are out there? How many voices are still waiting to be heard? Because sometimes the house chooses. And once it does, you never really leave.